Hey guys, my name's Julie. Welcome to a new video. I've been a Pilates instructor for 8 years and a studio owner for going into my 4th year, and I'm looking forward to discussing the difference between group classes and private sessions as a client. So group classes tends to have about 5 to 15 clients in a studio, and those classes tend to focus on a group of individuals rather than a person as their own. Some studios may have classes that are for specific goals or specific needs, so it's always good to check what the descriptions and also what the teacher's reviews are saying. This way you can determine what class, what teacher, and maybe even what time works best for you. So group classes have a good benefit in the sense of that it is more frequent on the schedule in a group studio. This allows clients who work various hours to attend classes 1 to 2 times a week, and for our very active clients, maybe 3 to 4 times a week. Some clients who are on unlimited plans, depending on the studio, may even be at the studio every single day, but practicing different variations of Pilates and maybe even a restorative class if that studio offers one. Sometimes in group studios, they have multiple pieces of equipment, just like I do here. But my studio is a private studio. You may have a reformer, you may have a chair. Some studios may even have a TRX up on the wall, or maybe a version of the tower on the wall at their studio. So these are the general things that you'll see equipment-wise. You may even see different props. Some studios have very light weights, so those 2, 3, and 5 pound weights. You may even have studios that have heavier weights like 5, 10, 15, and maybe even up to 25 or 35 if they have a more athletic and strength training focused clientele. Those are a couple different variations. One of the other things to expect in your group classes is that there are likely a lot of clients, which means that the studio and the teacher may not be able to give you hands-on adjustments. Hands-on adjustments gives you an idea of where muscles are, as well as if your position is a little slouched, or maybe even if you need to focus on a different part of you that may be feeling a little scrunched and that needs a little more lengthening. So those are some things to keep that in mind. I do like classes because classes gives people more opportunities to practice, as well as give them some flexibility in their schedule in case they need to cancel, because most studios tend to have a 24-hour or 12-hour cancellation period. Luckily, the nice thing with group classes is that there is a chance of having a community. So some studios who tend to have people older than 35 may have a group of people coming in together, maybe seeing each other regularly because of their schedules. And this way it boosts some opportunity to talk to each other, allow others to chat with each other, and even just enjoy the class with the teacher, have a couple laughs, and so on and so forth. So maybe group classes is for you. If your schedule is a little tight, you need some different hours, you might change your schedule week to week, as well as go into a little bit more of an open body, full body focused class rather than specific needs. Going into what are private Pilates sessions. Private Pilates sessions are great introductory options for clients who've never experienced Pilates, may be new to a studio, or maybe looking into what it does for themselves rather than going to a group class. I typically suggest this for anybody who's having any issues with an injury, has a lot of aches and pains, or maybe coming back after a big medical procedure or after having a baby. These sessions tend to focus on the individual, so you get a custom training session, which means you may use all the equipment available at the studio. Or you may have a very hyper-focused session on a reformer, but following your guidance on your needs and your goals, as well as seeing opportunities to grow past your goals. So those are the nice things with the private sessions. Some places will also have a private studio away from a group class. So that way you're focusing on yourself. There's nobody else in the studio. And that way, for those of us who have attention issues or may get distracted easily, that might be ideal for you. So maybe something to look into when you're looking online or scheduling on the phone with the front desk. One of the nice things with experiencing private sessions is you get to ask as many questions as you'd like to, or maybe even see if you're using the right muscles during certain movements. This gives you an opportunity to learn any modifications you need to learn when you're taking a class, as well as what your needs are if you do plan to transition to group classes. I do love the benefits of these sessions. You get to learn a lot more about yourself, your goals, and your needs, while also being aware of any injuries, aches, and pains, and getting the ability to ask all the questions you'd like to with your teacher, who you tend to see regularly every week or every couple sessions that you are there at the studio. Hopefully this gives you an idea of what the difference is for group classes versus private sessions as a client. And of course, if you've enjoyed anything in this video, feel free to let me know down below in the comments. If you do have any questions, maybe I can answer them as well. And if you've enjoyed anything in general that you've seen, you might want to subscribe and see what else I have in store. So that way you can learn a little bit more about Pilates as a studio client, as well as those of you who are new teachers who are looking to explore into more opportunities. My name is Julie. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.